Hello and welcome to today's video. So we've done a lot of interactions lately, and today we are going to start setting up our AI. So if you've been following, we've been doing a lot of interactions and pickup of the last three videos. And today I want to switch to something else. So I'll just create basic AIs for our game. We put them in the map, and I'll show you how to basically set up AI in your game. So quickly, I'll go to my blueprints folder. We add characters, and I'll add another folder and name it AI. And then you notice I'll just be creating a child from the base character. So I'll create a child and I'll name it base AI. Save that, move it to the AI folder, and open it. So basically, when you want to plan your project, when you want to do AI, it's important to make decisions so early. So basically, you can try and always consider making actors or making characters, depending on what you want your AI to do. So if you want an AI that moves around, you'd consider having a character, because the character moving component is so powerful and it's capable of a lot of stuff. You can also consider doing with actors. So this is specific for characters that won't be moving. So in our game, we want to create a variety of characters. I'll start with the basic one, the simple one, that's like an actor. This is a character that's not moving. You can only interact with him or her at a specific location. So it's you moving to that particular character. And we can just create another. We can go straight to our blueprints and actors and interactables, then create a child of interactables. Remember, I've just created the one for AI, that's a movable character. I'll create another interactable and I'll just rename it as interactable character. Save that. So we might be tempted to save these in our AI folder, but I kind of like I don't want. I've chosen to want. So I'll take this, I'll move this to our AI folder and I'll move it there. When you go back, we can see we have an interactable character. And a few things to note is that we won't have a lot of properties in here. So we just want this a character that stands up and we can get close to him. Maybe you can trigger dialogue, or maybe it's a shop, or maybe it's somebody who has like quests for you. So it's also important to consider that. So I'll go ahead and grab our character. Remember, we had done pickups before, so I'll just delete these. Keep a few and drag our character. I'll drag him straight to the scene, and I'll add a few things on our character, on our interactable character. Let me say I'll just add let me say static mesh, skeletal meshes. Yeah, skeletal meshes. So I'll go back to our MetaHumans folder. Again, it doesn't have to be Emroy for it. In your case, you can like create another character, but I'll use Emroy just for an example. So I'll go ahead and copy all this stuff. Control C, go back to our interactable character, then Control V. Yeah, and you have everyone right there. So everything is set. Also remember we had our construction script. We can add the leader pose, and I'll grab the body, I'll grab torso, legs, feet and face, and then I'll type set leader pose. Clear that and set this to a new leader pose. Connect all these nodes and compile. Cool. So make sure we're also going to make sure that we set our animation blueprint to be like the same to our character if we want. If we don't, it's okay. Also, sometimes it's important to keep these all of these components maybe empty, because remember, when you're creating a child of it, you are definitely going to load it twice. So it's going to load the parent component and also the child, so it's expensive for your CPU, or your CPU. So I'll make sure our character is facing the X direction, so I'll quickly rotate him to -90, save that, compile. Yeah. So you'll notice when we get close to our character, the character looks like us. So when you get close to ourselves, you can see we have that interact button, which is great. So that's like the first basic character that we've created, and I want us to create another character that we already have, I think from the base AI, and I'll quickly remove this. I'll quickly close this, close the inventory. I can also close these widgets, so that because today we're only dealing with characters. So notice how if we have all these components in our character, we can always move them back to the base character from the player. So we want, if we're using MetaHumans for all our characters, we can always set the base character to have all the to carry all the properties. Then we can be changing these components from from various classes. So I'll go ahead and move all of these. Carry these, Control X. Not yet, that copied the wrong way. So I'll leave the face alone for now and take the rest, and I'll Control X. Control X, and then I'll copy it to our base character. So I'll open these up, and I'll step these I'll paste them over here. Might need to rename them, but I don't like renaming stuff. So what I'll do, I'll just go back to our MetaHuman character and copy these guys. So I'll take these up to here, here, and here. and then copy these guys to a base character, paste them right here, and make sure these three are set to be children of the mesh. Compile that. And then we go to our face. Go back to our face. Control C. Go back to our base and add that here. Make sure it's attached to the mesh. And then copy the rest. Control C. Go back to the base and paste. Make sure they are under the face, which is great. So when you hit compile, go to the viewport, yeah, we don't have the mesh, so we'll go back and see for the body. Copy that, go to base, set that over here. Yeah, and basically that's it. So we've added all our components back to our base character, and you will notice when you go back to the player and basically delete these guys. So you can basically delete all the stuff that you don't need. Let's go back to our base. Make sure our character is properly oriented. It's -90. Then you could say, let me use the left. Make sure it's just about there. Compile. It's taking a while. Yeah, that was weird. So I'll just move our construction script back to our parent. So we go to base character, Control V, put that up, and make sure all our stuff is what we need. Compile. Yeah, that's it. So I'll go ahead and save everything. When you go back to the player, when you go to the base AI, we still have the same character. So we only be changing the properties of the character. So I'll go ahead and go to our player. Play. Everything works fine. So let's go back to our base AI, and one thing that I want us to do is to add like AI stuff in our AI character. So the one I use the most for doing AI is called the state tree. So it's a plugin that needs to be enabled, and to enable, just go to plugins and just type state tree. So you have the state tree enabled, we have the gameplay state tree. So first let me try and see if this one works. So I'll get state tree. We can't find it, so let's go ahead and enable it first. So I'll enable the gameplay state tree. and then it will prompt us to do a restart, and I'll do a restart. Compiling blueprints. Yeah, it's all set now. I've also enabled the editor to always open my last assets that I was editing. So when you go back to the base AI, compile that and hit state tree. You can see there is a state tree component right here, so we can add that. We can hit, and this is where we set, so it has like an automatic logic start check here. So also to create a state tree, there is several ways, but if you just click here and there is a create new asset, it's a state tree asset. I'll go back to our blueprints so that we can organize the folders first. There's blueprints, and I'll name it, I'll call it AI. So these are different AI from the characters. So this is like basic AI logic. And then I'll go ahead and create a state tree, create new state tree. I'll save it under blueprints AI, and I'll name it. Let's start with enemy. So let me just call it enemy. Okay, let me use the state tree enemy. If you ask me if I want a state tree component or a state tree AI component, I just pick the state tree component and we are set. So this is how a tree looks like. It has a root, and you can create like this, where we create all the AI logic. And to do AI stuff, what you basically need, you need some AI tasks, and you also need like maybe evaluators and stuff like that. But we'll create a most basic AI task. Everybody would want to see how that's done. I'll go first to the schema, under state tree components, do the drop down and actor context class. I'll set that to our base AI character. So I'll call base AI. Yeah, compile that, make sure it's saved, and we can see to create like another state, you can just click on the right click on the root, and there is the add state. So you can add like a child or a sibling. A sibling means that it will be on parallel. A child means that it will be under the root. So when I hit child, it means that the state tree will go, if it's in the root state, it will go straight to this child, considering that we don't put any conditions in here. So I just wanted to print to say that it's alive. I'll just do a print, and in this print I'll go ahead and add a task right here, and there is a debug text task, and I'll name it hi AI is working. So we can compile that and save it. So we're going ahead and compile our character too. We are going to drag our character into the scene, our AI character into the scene. Let him stand by here. It's taking a while, I don't know. And then I'll rotate him out. Save our level. So when I hit play, you can see there is a print string function right there. So it's saying, hi, AI is working, which is great. So today we've done quite something, a bit on AI and a bit on like AI that you can interact with. So this is AI that can't move, you can't add a lot of logic in it, but it actually depends. And there is like a more further complex AI. So when I get close to this one, you can see there is an interact function, which means we can interact with him. And when I get close to this one, you can still see that, okay, he has logic that's working, but we are not going to set that up in this video. So it's going to be a bit complex for the few next videos, but I'll try my best to explain it to you, and hopefully you get to learn something. Also, if you enjoy these videos, consider subscribing. If you find them useful, drop the like, and I'll see you in the next one.